This video is an excerpt from our weekly podcast. Go and watch the full podcast, check the link in the description of this video, or support us on Patreon at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. It's CDPR's painful numbers. Now, there was a conference call recently. CD Projekt Red's net profit was down 65% on what they were expecting due to them having to spend time fixing the game and the game not being available in the PlayStation Store still. They've reported a 32.5 million zloty profit. That's down from the expected 80 million zloty. If you don't know what zloty is, then I'll convert it for you. 6.3 million pounds was the profit, down from an expected £15.4 million, or in American dollars, that's $9 million down from expected 22 million. So that is a huge shortfall from what they were expecting investor-wise. And in the investor conference call, company officials said the following, quote, "The general situation as long as we are not back on the Sony store has not changed. One of the leading marketplaces for us is not available and we generate most of the sales on the PC/digital channels." So that speaks volumes. I've compiled a few other facts and figures, 3 bad ones and one good one. 2 negative ones and a good one. Right, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most expensive games ever made, and they spent $313 million on making the game. $250 million almost on making Cyberpunk 2077, although they have recouped those expenses. That's a shed load of money. The next fact and figure, CDPR share price has dropped 60% since the game launched. So the company is worth less than half it was when the game launched. That is a huge downswing in the share price.
I mean, I know nothing about trading or stocks or anything, but a little hobby of mine is occasionally just looking at CD Projekt's stocks line on Google, and it's never nice. It's always down.
The next interesting fact or figures is that the all-time concurrent players number of Cyberpunk at launch was 1 million players, all concurrently playing the game. This week, the peak concurrent players on Steam were 10,000, and it dips as low as 6,500. So the peak at 10,000, troughs at 6,500, and that is a third of the amount of players that are playing The Witcher at peak, which is over 30,000 players, and that speaks a lot. Well, The Witcher 3 was 2015's darling, 6 years old game, and Cyberpunk is not even a year old, and it has a third of the players on Steam. So they're all the negative numbers. However, the only number that really matters, the important one, was that $6.3 million. Now, $6.3 million is a very important number, and that's all they care about, because that's the amount of money that CDPR executives are expected to receive in bonus. Yay! They don't care about all the shitty releases. They don't care that they fucked off the investors because the share price is down over 60%. They don't care that they fucked off all the players by releasing the game early in a buggy state and are having to spend loads of money to try and sort that out. They don't care that only 10,000 players are playing the game. They don't care about those figures. $6.3 million, baby.
Mm-hmm. The job of these executives isn't to make a good game. That's the developer's job. The job of these executives is to make a lot of money, and they have succeeded in that. So when you think about it like that, yeah, they did. Maybe they did earn their bonuses. They did earn a lot of money, so they should get a little bit of it. But when you look at it in terms of you're a game company meant to make a good game, like hell do you deserve 6.3 million in bonuses? I mean, that's the amount shared across the execs, right? That's not just one guy.
No. It's 20 odd
million each.
Yeah, each. That's Kaczynski and Iwinski, or whatever they're called. Those two are getting. As reported, that they're getting $6.3 million. It's 22 or something for the whole team.
The pool.
And just for context, the developers themselves are getting anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000 in a bonus, depending on seniority. So that gives you a little bit of context. But it's just interesting to visualize them. How do they feel about this whole Cyberpunk situation? Because their bank balance isn't telling them that this was a failure. Their bank balance is telling them that this was an unadulterated success for them. Whereas if you look at any other piece of evidence, any other circumstances surrounding the launch, the players and the state of the business of the company now, it will tell you that this game was a failure. But so it's just the complete juxtaposition of them doing so well, having such bad results.
What I think is funny is that they kind of thought of themselves as the cyberpunks of the industry. They were the underdog before The Witcher came out and blew the world away, and now they are the corpos. They are the ones at the top of the tree making all the money, and then the actual people down at the bottom doing the work. Enjoy your $5,000. I've got 6.3 million. I'm going to go have some hookers and cocaine.
Yeah. Work on my next game for me while I'm in Mauritius or something.
Maybe I'll look at a spreadsheet once a week.
Brilliant. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to go and watch the full podcast, head to the description of this video and you'll find a link to our new podcast channel, or head over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming and get early access.